When I was a young child, we had this picture in our house that showed a little girl, and I used to think that I was that girl with dark eyes and dark hair. I always wondered whether my parents got it for that reason, but I never asked. I eventually brought it with me to Southeast from one of my trips back home to Germany. It is stained now after more than 40 years. It also has a piece of Scotch tape on it that my best friend from school stuck on it, jokingly. It wouldn't come off anymore without tearing the paper beneath it. I said, "You destroyed the only thing that really meant something to me," jokingly. We had a good laugh about it. When I was 18, I spent a year in California. It was my first trip on an airplane and my first time away from home so far away. I had this idea about California that was a mixture of the songs "It Never Rains in Southern California" by Albert Hammond and "A Horse with No Name" by America. This idea of California, my idea of California, was shaped by songs and the atmosphere they created. It was shaped by movies and TV shows that portrayed a place that I almost felt I knew even before I knew it. I clearly remember riding in the car that took me from the airport to the home I would be living in, thinking that this here didn't feel like California, not the kind of California that I had anticipated. I wasn't particularly disappointed, but just noticed it. And the memory of noticing that it was not as I had expected it to be, has always stayed with me. Years later, when I thought back about my time there, that year that I had spent, those days of endless sunshine, I couldn't recollect that feeling of it being different than what I had expected it to be. Looking back, after all these years, in my memories, this place and my idea of it had become one. I think it had to do with being there for many days and weeks, the routine of day-to-day life, the movement and the pace of it, the endless repetition of the sunshine in the morning, the glitter in the air, the space and colors. Looking back, it felt like that mixture of eternal sunshine and the horse with no name, and it felt good to be out of the rain. Thinking back to it, it was the kind of California that I had imagined and that I had longed for. I have always wanted to move back there, but my life and that of my family took us to Amsterdam. I asked, "What is a good place to live here?" And after thinking for a moment, my colleague said, "You can pretty much move anywhere except Southeast." Funny how we ended up here anyhow, by choice and without any regret. Sometimes in life, we move on predetermined paths over and over again. And although we are moving, it does not seem that we are getting anywhere. Sometimes we live inside these rooms. We explore life inside their parameters. Recently, I've been going outside and exploring Southeast. I looked at it from many angles, listened to it, smelled it, felt it, experienced it like never before. And at times, it takes my breath away, the beauty and richness I've been finding. I find myself looking around, and when the sun is shining and the windows of the buildings reflect it 1,000 times, I think, this feels just like America. And I'm glad that we moved to the one place in Amsterdam that one shouldn't move to. I also found the girl from my parents' picture. She's older, but I recognize her familiar features. It seems she's moved here too.